My friends, this question must pop up in your mind again and again: why you are not achieving success anywhere, why your luck seems to be bad, problems surround you from all sides, why everything is wrong only with you. It happens, if you also think like this, then after watching this video your life will change. Friends, today I am going to tell you 15 such things from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which can light up your luck, sharpen your mind, can make you the rich person along with teaching right from wrong. It is really a big thing, that today we are going to know such things said by Lord Shri Krishna, which has the power to change any life. In a way, one can say, the hand of Lord Shri Krishna himself will be on your head. Shri Krishna has told the answers to all your questions thousands of years ago in the Bhagavad Gita. Let's listen to them and learn from them 15 of these powerful sayings that have the power to make every human being a brave and effective warrior of history like Arjuna. Did you know? Number 1. Do your work, don't worry about the result. Friends, we have heard this line many times. Nowadays if you see anyone, he is working only for the result, that is, for the results. If he is told that if he does not get anything in return, he may leave the work, because people nowadays have become very greedy. If they feel that they are benefiting instead of doing this work, then they will do this work, but if the person in front of him is benefiting instead of benefiting from this work, then he will never do it. But let us tell you that in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna has clearly said that a man should never worry about the fruits, he should concentrate on doing his work. This means that a man should focus on the work, not on the results or benefits he gets from it. Anyone who lives his life by adopting the advice given by Shri Krishna, do a work, don't worry about the result, no power in the world can stop that person from succeeding, because the person who just focuses on his work, doesn't he, and keeps doing his work without worrying about the result, that means the person who works hard with full dedication, one day or the other will definitely succeed. By the way, the real meaning of this verse, i.e., Shri Krishna's preaching, is not that you should do your work and not worry about the result, because if a man does not know what he will get for that work, I will not feel like working, i.e. doing the work. Rather, the true meaning of this verse is that man has the right to work only in his life, and he does not have the right to reap the fruits of that work. That is, it is his duty to act in life and he must perform his duty. You have to give 100% of yourself, and from here you learn that you have to keep working constantly in your life, because you came into this world to do a job, you don't have to worry about the outcome. It is in the hand of the person above. Number 2. Change is certain. Krishna, while preaching to Arjuna before the start of the Mahabharata war, said that Arjuna, why are you crying? What you have lost after coming to this world after all, who is this? It's something I created in this world. At the same time, Shri Krishna told Arjuna that whatever you have achieved in this life, you have achieved only after coming to this world, and when you leave this world, you will leave everything behind. By this, Shri Krishna Ji wants to tell Arjuna that when you leave this world, the rights of all your things and all your objects will be in someone else's hand, that is, all these things will belong to someone else. This change is certain and cannot be stopped, and this is the law of nature and its essence, so whatever you want to achieve in life, do your best, but when it is achieved do not boast of having it, and if not, if you get it, you should not regret losing it, because all these things are not yours at all. Friends, what did you learn from this? Through this sermon, Lord Shri Krishna wants to tell us that whatever you have now is not yours forever, so you should never be proud of it, because death is certain and after death everything will be destroyed by someone. And this is about to happen, that is, there has to be a change. That is why you should not be proud of anything, and you should not regret losing something, because what is the use of regretting what was never yours? This is why you should thank God for everything you have and never be sad about what you don't have. Number 3. Birth is certain and death is also certain. Lord Shri Krishna, while preaching to Arjuna, says that the death of any human being in this world is as certain as the birth of a person again. That is, the death of a person born into this world is certain, and cannot be stopped, because this is the law of nature, and as far as birth is concerned, the birth of a dead person is also certain. Because just as clothes get old and you put on new ones, in the same way your soul also puts on a new body after the body dies. That is why you should never be sad about such things, because you already know that the person who came into this world will definitely leave this world one day or another, because no one could stop the going. This is why you don't need to mourn unnecessarily. It is often seen that people go crazy with happiness when someone is born, and grieve greatly when someone dies, and they are already aware of it. It is known that birth and death are certain, and this is the law of nature. So you tell me what you already know and what you want to be, so you don't have to always be sad about such things. No. 4. We must evaluate ourselves. Nowadays we can see that people pay less attention to themselves and more attention to the person in front of them. That is, we try to find people's faults by not paying attention to our own. That is why Lord Sri Krishna preached to Arjuna that we must evaluate ourselves, because no one in this world knows us as well as he does, and perhaps no one will ever know him. That is why Sri Krishna ji says that we should evaluate ourselves, try to know our shortcomings, and after knowing these shortcomings, we should try to remove these shortcomings, and build a good character. The person who tries to find his mistakes without looking at the mistakes of others, that person is successful in this world, so you also have to pay attention to your mistakes more than the mistakes of others because you have to become successful and see the mistakes. You can only learn from them, you can never become successful, you will only succeed when you see your flaws and improve them. Number 5. Control anger. Friends, the person who cannot control his anger, his downfall is certain. Because Lord Sri Krishna said that when a man gets angry, confusion arises in his mind, and when confusion arises in his mind, his intelligence is disturbed, and when intelligence is disturbed, reasoning is destroyed. Logic is destroyed, it will surely fall. In this way you must have understood that how your anger becomes the cause of your downfall. That is why Sri Krishna ji while preaching to Arjuna, i.e. Bhagavad Gita tells us that we should control our anger and should always be calm. Because anger is the cause of destruction. You can take the biggest example of Ravana, how Ravana was burning in the fires of anger to take revenge on Ramji, and how he himself was burning in the fires of his anger. But on the contrary, if you see Ramji's behavior, you will not see even an iota of anger in Sri Ramji's behavior. He always kept his cool even in adverse circumstances, so you should also keep your cool in adverse circumstances, and keep anger away from you as much as possible, otherwise your downfall is certain. No. 6. Make thinking friends. What we are now and what we will become in the future depends on our thinking. Meaning, whether your future will be bright or your future will be dark depends on your current thinking. If you keep your thinking positive, your future will also be positive, and if you keep your thinking negative, i.e. negative, your future will also be negative. So it's up to you whether you want to make your future positive or negative. If you want your future to be good, bright and positive, then you must also keep your thinking positive. We say this because you act as you think, and it depends on your behavior what your future will be like. That's why you should always keep your thinking positive. Number 7. In the next sermon, Sri Krishna ji told Arjuna that I see everyone as equal, for me no one is above or below. All people are equal to me. But the one who worships me sincerely, he dwells in me and I in him. With this, Krishna ji wants to make you understand that he never bestows his blessings on any human being, rather he bestows his blessings on you by pleasing your character and behavior. So if you worship the Lord with a sincere heart without selfishness, you will never feel lonely. Because as Sri Krishna ji said that one who worships me sincerely, resides in me and I reside in him. Number 8. Happiness is not in this world or in the hereafter for those who doubt. Friends, the person who always doubts his mind means that he doubts every action, so this person will never be happy in his life. This is possible. Such a person cannot be happy in this world while he is alive, and likewise the person who doubts his mind, such a person will not get happiness even in the hereafter. It means that this person can never be happy in his life, so you do not have to doubt everything you get in your life, but you have to thank your God for this thing that he gave you. But if you still doubt this work, it will be difficult for you to get happiness in your life, and even if you do get that happiness, it will likely only be for a moment. Number 9. 3 gates of hell. My friends, if a man does any of these 3 things, lust, anger, and greed, the gates of hell will open for him. This means, according to Sri Krishna in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that lust, anger and greed are the 3 gates of hell. That is, if you do any of the 3, the gates of hell will open for you, that is, after death you will have to go to hell. But if you do your work selflessly, leaving behind lust, anger and greed, then you have a place in the hereafter, i.e. paradise. This is why you should never indulge in lust, anger, and greed in your life, otherwise you may not get a place in hell. and no matter how bad a person is, they may never want to have a place in hell. That's why there is still a chance that you should completely eliminate these three things from your life: your lust, your anger, and your greed. No. 10. Don't be arrogant, friends. A man should never be arrogant in his life, because the ego makes a man do all those things, which he should not do, which he himself does not want except under the control of man. Arrogance, when he comes, he starts doing all these things. So his eventual downfall is certain. This is why it is said that a man should never be proud of anything in his life, no matter what its purpose. Because what you have now you will not have forever, because we have already told you that change is certain in the world, and this is the law of nature. That's why you have no right to be proud of what is not yours. No. 11. Keeping the mind under control. If I tell you that your mind in your body is your enemy, you may find it strange to hear. But let us tell you that if you do not control your mind, there is no greater enemy than your mind, because if your mind is not under your control, it controls you. He starts wandering here and there, and you start wandering from your destination. That is, your mind is working to distract you from your destination, and it is also the work of your enemy to prevent you from reaching your destination and obstruct your path. That is why Sri Krishna ji, while preaching the Bhagavad Gita, said that an uncontrolled mind is our greatest enemy. No. 12. You should know that our bodies are made up of 5 elements, in which there are fire, water, air, earth, and sky, and as far as the body is concerned, we have no right over it either. Because since our bodies are made up of 5 elements, after death our body is absorbed back into these 5 elements, and then only our soul remains, which takes on a new body. This is why Lord Sri Krishna tells Arjuna while delivering the following sermon that man has no right over his body, because that body is mortal, only the soul is immortal. Therefore, a person must dedicate his whole body to God, and the person who dedicates his whole body to God, that person will always be happy in his life, and will always be far from fear, anxiety, and sadness. Number 13. As we told you above, everything you get in this world is not yours, so you should not be proud of it. That is why Sri Krishna ji told us through Bhagavad Gita that any intelligent person in this world should not be proud of his intelligence. Rather, he should benefit from his intelligence and help people with it. Because if you are very smart but you do not help people with it but rather show off with it, then there is no point in being smart, so you should use your intelligence, that is, your knowledge, to help people. Because a person helps people in every way without seeming big or small, other people also help that person when needed. Number 14. As we told you above that the person who worships God with a sincere heart, God resides inside that person's mind and that person resides inside God's mind. So think to yourself now that if you benefit a lot from worshipping the Lord, then the person who remembers his Lord until the time of death, that is, if he takes the name of the Lord at the time of death, how much money, good luck will get him. For this, we learn from the teachings given by Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita that one who remembers his Lord even at the time of his death, i.e. he remembers his Lord until the last moment of his life, he gets a place in the afterlife. That is, this person goes directly to heaven and his soul finds peace. This is why you should not abandon your devotion to God until the last moment of your life, and remember your God even as you leave this world so that you can have a place in the next world. Number 15. Before the Mahabharata war, when Arjuna did not want to fight the war, Sri Krishna ji preached to Arjuna and said that if you fight this war and even if you get killed in this war, that is, if you are in this war even if you die, you will still get heaven. But if you win this war, you will gain the happiness of the kingdom of this land. So go and fight, because without fighting you won't get either. Friends, this teaches us that you should never give up in your life, because even if you lose during the fight, you will be proud of yourself because you did not give up, you fought. But if you give up and stop, you will later regret that if you didn't give up then, you will win now. But you must have heard this saying which you would now regret when the bird ate the field. That's why you should never give up. Maybe you will win while trying, as happened with Arjuna. He prepared for war and not only prepared but also won the war. That is why you should never give up in your life. Keep doing your work, you will surely get its fruits. Friends, although our video was a bit long today, but you will not get more peace than this, and if you came here to appreciate our hard work, thank you very much for this. It is a request, if you are new to this channel, then subscribe to it and press the bell icon, because we work hard to bring such videos to you, so that you get this information in a short time, so that you can become a successful person in your life. With this we end this video. We will meet you in another funny video like this. Until then, take care of yourself.